Thanks for joining me on this episode of Healthy Urban Lifestyle. Tonight I'm making butternut squash apple soup. It's gotten a little chilly outside, so it's time to pull out the fall soups. It's an easy dinner to make, as most soups are, and the basic principles for all soups are pretty much the same. I have my ingredients here, the equivalent of one butternut squash. It's easier to find them pre-peeled. You can find them diced as well, because peeling a butternut squash is a huge pain in the butt, like big time. So I have my butternut squash, 2 apples. You could use Golden Delicious or a more tart apple. It's up to you. I stick with the green. 1 onion, which would normally be a white onion, but we don't have it because red goes with everything. It's very versatile. And then I would normally put in like a carrot and a potato to more thicken it up and add a more vegetable taste to it, because when eventually we're going to puree the soup and we want more substance in it so it's not very runny. But I don't have a carrot or a potato, and I do have most of a can of pumpkin because we made pumpkin pancakes on Sunday. So I'm thinking this would be pretty good to add in. We're going to give it a try. That's the beauty of soup. You can put anything in here, puree it, and it's a great soup. I swear, anything you like, puree it together. Principles are the same for fruit. It's like a smoothie, but it's soup. It's great. Sage. This is the seasoning I use for my butternut squash apple soup. It has a very fall taste. This is what is used in most Thanksgiving stuffings, so just so you know. And then, of course, broth. We're going to get all of these chopped up, put them in the pan, cover it with broth, and cook it down. So I'm going to get chopping. Vegetables chopped up in the pot. I'm going to go ahead and pour stock in until it covers the vegetable. It gets to the level of the top of the vegetables. I didn't put the pumpkin or the sage in here yet. It's probably going to be 2 or 3 sage leaves minced up, but I'm going to do it once these have all cooked down. And I didn't add the pumpkin yet because it's already cooked and pureed in the can. So I'm going to add that at the end, right before I puree all of these vegetables together. There's no sense in cooking it down further. Alright, so that's like just about the level of the top of the vegetables. I'm going to turn on my stove. Turn it on medium-high. Cover it up. Let them cook. It's going to be about 20 to 25 minutes for them to get soft. And then I'm going to add the pumpkin and the sage and puree it, and you'll see it all. But like, how easy is that? Chopping it up, putting it in the pot, letting it cook, and puree it. Voila, dinner. So I'll see you when these are all ready to get pureed. Alright, it's been about 20 minutes. My vegetables have all cooked down. I just took a look, and what I want to do is you want to fork the toughest vegetable. So look at how soft my squash is. If it breaks apart like that, and that would have taken the longest to cook, then this is all ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my pumpkin. I'm adding a lot of pumpkin. Maybe this is no longer a butternut squash apple soup. Maybe it's now pumpkin soup. Maybe it's a whole new soup for me. But that's the beauty of soup. Put it all together and puree it. Ooh, shoot.
Gross. Tin soup.
I always wash the lids off before I open them, so you shouldn't have to worry. Alright, so pumpkin is all in there. And sage. Fresh herbs you usually want to put in at the end. I want to get them in there, cooked in with the flavors, and then puree it real quick. I also at one point opened this up and added salt and pepper. Okay, here's my handy dandy soup pureer. If you don't have one of these, you can ladle this into a blender and puree it in batches. I highly recommend getting one of these. It is a lifesaver. I use it for everything, making pestos and smoothies. It's wonderful.
What if you don't have a blender?
you could mash this up, but then the skin on the apple would be tough and not cut up. So I guess you could peel the apple and then mash all these up. The onion again would still be in whole pieces. You get the point.
I was just hoping you said you're screwed.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
There's always a way. You're never screwed. Matt, do you want to repeat your question?
Is the heat still on?
It is still on. So I pureed it while the heat was on. You could turn it off. But once you puree your soup, cook it for another minute once it's all pureed together to get the flavors working. And I actually brought out, we had a bottle of some really sweet wine in the fridge. I'm just going to put a splash of it in there because I think it'll add some cool depth to it. Again, I put anything in the pot that I like. And I have sweet wine, and it might just go with sweet apples. Who knows? We'll see. We'll try it. So there it is, butternut squash apple soup, which is now a pumpkin butternut squash apple soup. And this would be great served with a little dollop of sour cream to offset the sweetness, or maybe some Parmesan cheese. So easy. Give it a try. Let me know what you think, and enjoy fall with your soups. There's more to come. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.